Got all the instruments here.
Also, this is like all of the first few guests. Like we have Govin on tabla.
Oh.
Then classical music I just classify under treble clef.
Hey.
Yeah, because not a lot of space. Then Chinese music, Malay music, photography. I try to like.
Photography.
There's a camera here.
Oh.
But there's no photographer
So you
coming.
designed this?
Yeah.
Oh.
So basically, like this company helps people make their own drinks, lah. So you can make your own label, choose your own flavors. You can workshop with them what kind of ingredients you want to put inside.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's quite
Very
fresh.
cool.
Yeah. Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Starving Artists of Singapore, the show where we find out more about what it's like being in the arts industry in Singapore. So today we have a very special guest. In an orchestra, right, there's about like 80 people, both for like Chinese or symphonic orchestra, but usually there's only one or two harpists. And today we are very fortunate to have one of such professional harpists with us. Everyone, please welcome Charmaine.
Hello.
I thought I got people there, but no one there. But yes, please welcome Charmaine. Welcome onto the show.
Thank you.
Can you give like a brief introduction of yourself?
Okay, hi, my name is Charmaine Teo. I'm a harpist. I perform with symphony orchestras. I also perform in smaller concert settings and also for corporate events, weddings, and I also teach.
So the harp, if you don't know what a harp is, here's a picture of it. It's quite a niche instrument, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like not a lot of people practice or perform it.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you get started on the harp?
Okay, actually on the harp, I started it as a CCA first. So I was very, very lucky because only two secondary schools in Singapore have it as a CCA. So harp ensemble CCA. And that's Nanhua High School and Paya Lebar Methodist Girls' School. And I was from Paya Lebar Methodist Girls' School. And during the time that I was there, they also had this music aesthetics program, which was, I think, supposed to encourage students to go towards O-level music. This one I might be wrong, but that time was a new initiative, so music aesthetics program. And for the music aesthetics program, you could learn either violin or harp. But I already learned the violin before I came to secondary school. So I chose to learn the harp. And so I had this music aesthetics program, harp lessons on the side, and also my harp CCA. So it was like double lessons in secondary school. So that's how I started. So I was very, very fortunate because everything was kind of like provided for me. In school, the harps are there. You just have to turn up there. And
The school quite rich. Right? Harp quite expensive, right?
it is quite expensive, but the ones that we started with is called the lever harp. So
the
lever
smaller
harps,
one.
Yeah, so it's smaller. They have like lap harps, which is only like this size. And then they have the more fuller size one, but it's kind of middle size if you compare it with the professional harp size model. Yeah.
I've always wondered how much does like the full orchestra harp cost?
You want to guess?
50k.
50k? Yeah. Sounds
50k.
about right. I mean, there are different, I think there's a huge range. It can range from, I think, about 20 plus K to like 100 plus.
100 plus.
Yeah. But definitely, I mean, there are pianos that are also like super
pianos also.
Yeah, but I think for harp, like the beginning model for pedal harp is quite expensive.
Pedal harp is the full size one.
The full size one. Those that you can use for orchestras, those are like full size pedal harps. Those cost quite a lot.
How much is your harp?
My one
Yeah, just if you don't mind sharing with the audience.
is about 40k.
Oh, okay. So it's
Yeah.
like a bit higher than
actually,
average.
Actually, it's quite a. I wouldn't say it's like it's just a beginning professional model. It's not like those like very like expensive kind. Yeah. If you look at my harp, if you see my harp, actually it's just a very plain brown one. No carving, no nothing.
Oh, like usually there will be like engraving.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then sometimes the crown has like some people have like gold flakes and like on like special carving. Mine is just like one wood. Doing.
I think like most of us that has been on this show, or most musicians in Singapore generally, it all starts out from CCA, right? Passion starts from CCA, you learn the instrument. So when did you decide that, hey, maybe I can pursue this further and make it like a potential career next time?
I think for me, because my mum actually is a piano teacher.
Oh, okay.
So all my life, I've actually been very exposed to music. Like we see like my baby photos, like 1 year old, you can really see me like touching piano and stuff. And so I actually like am in contact with music all my life. And I don't think there was like a very particular moment where I was like, okay, like I need to pursue this as a career. No, I think it was more of a build up of everything. Like I learned quite a few instruments. So I learned violin, as I mentioned before, piano. I also learned a little bit of cello, and then the harp. So it was like when I started playing the harp, I was like, wow, like you can really feel a connection with the instrument. So that's when I already knew like I cannot let this go. Yeah, and I don't want to do harp as like a side thing because I really liked it. So I think it was never like out of my mind to not pursue music as a career. It was always like, okay, I want to keep doing this. So what's my next step like this?
Okay. Yeah, I get what you mean. Like when I first picked up the saxophone, when I played it, also it felt like, just making a sound feels good for me. Yeah, I kind of can understand.
Yeah.
So you went to JC?
I went to SOTA.
So it's straight away
after,
SOTA.
After PLMGS, after O levels, then I went into SOTA for my JC lah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they did IB program there, but I was the only one who did O levels then went into SOTA. So that was incredibly difficult. That was very, very difficult for me. But in the end, over there, I did manage to do performances and meet other music students. So that was very, very nice. After SOTA, I went to Yongsu-to.
Straight away.
So after JC, no army.
Maybe
So
took a gap year or something.
Yeah, then Yongsu-to. Then after Yongsu-to, I went to Boston for my masters.
Oh, okay. How long was that?
2 years. Yeah, but I graduated right when COVID smacked. So my final semester ended a little bit early because like the pandemic
had to come back.
Yes.
Okay. So immediately after graduating, what was it like? Like fresh out of school?
It was very difficult. Yeah, because there are no performances. Yeah, at that time everything was just stopped still, right? Nothing was happening. And when I came back also, like all the shopping malls which I was like very familiar with, like suddenly nobody. And then like just nothing. Like everything was silence. And I think for me I took it as just a short break after graduation. Yeah, but it was very difficult. It was very scary because like even finding students was very, very difficult. And you're not sure whether you can keep up with regular lessons also, even if you manage to find anyone. Yeah, because the government was no visitors, or you cannot leave your home unless you're going to get groceries or whatever. So like for music, how much more difficult is that? And also teaching online is so difficult.
It's quite impossible.
It's really difficult. Yeah, I don't think people realize how difficult it is. Like when you're teaching and then suddenly the sound disappears, and you're just like screaming to the student, hey. Meeting's difficult, right? Classes are much more difficult than that, and it's frustrating on both ends. Yeah, even if like internet wonky also is like, yeah, very difficult. Or like sometimes you use the computer for very long, then it has this wong sound. Yeah, so it's just very, very not conducive, and then end up you just stop now. Yeah, end up students just give up or want to pause for a while. Then it becomes like no income for you, right? Yeah, but I was quite fortunate because a few months later I joined this harp school called Rave Harps. So over there I managed to teach there, and also I think I was also working more in the like creative department where we come up with like concerts and also like marketing material. So that was quite new for me because I was not trained in those areas to like do marketing. How do you brand yourself? How do you like attract students to come to the school, or like or how do you like make people want to come for your concerts, that kind of thing. So those I was learning a lot from the school. Yeah, but eventually I also left the school because over there is a lot of teaching, and I was not able to always be there. So when performance opportunities like came up, like I couldn't take them, and that was quite difficult for me because I always felt like I needed to be a performer. Yeah, so I wanted to have a life that balances both performing and teaching.
I see.
Yeah, and being in a music school was kind of difficult because in a music school also you need to be accountable for the every week. Like if our lesson is at Tuesday, then you have to commit every Tuesday. But then what if an important gig comes up on Tuesday? Then and it happened many times. So I decided like, okay, I think this is not the route for me. which was very difficult. It's a very difficult decision for me, and it was quite recent also. Yeah, but because I also feel very, very attached to my students, which is maybe like a young teacher thing. I don't know. Yeah, so when I teach, I feel this connection with my students. I feel like, oh my goodness, like I cannot like
Just,
let you go. Like, yeah, and I also care for them a lot. And also, like when I first started teaching, this maybe is a bit weird, but like I would dream about my classes, you know, like
Oh, really?
yeah, I would dream about my classes, and then I'd be like, and then the particular part of the lesson will replay and replay and replay, and then I will be telling myself like, here you should not have said this, here you should have said that, here, and then the whole night I just like repeat, rinse and repeat.
So when you are dreaming, you are reevaluating.
Yeah, like why am I teaching this way? Like you shouldn't have said this, or you should have said that. You're not pushing this student to their full potential like that. Yeah, so this is the kind of like attachment I have for my students. Yeah, so then to leave and choose the performance path is also not easy. But yeah lah.
But you still teach now, right?
Yeah, I teach now. Yeah, so I have now a private pool of students lah. Yeah, I also teach at NAFA now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
good.
yeah. So it's very nice, very fun for me because it's like the diploma and degree students.
Oh, both diploma and degree.
Yeah. So it's very fun because teaching them, they are at a higher level. So it's really much closer to where I was like when I was like in school learning about all these difficult repertoire. Like now, I can like teach it. So it's very, very fun for me to teach NAFA.
So actually, this is the first time we are meeting each other and like talking to each other.
Yes.
So I actually first heard of Charmaine from Instagram because honestly, I think she has a very impressive like marketing, not say system, but like she has done a lot of very impressive marketing materials for herself lah. So I don't know a lot of harpists personally. Actually, I only know one. Not really know also lah. Then I keep seeing materials that she posts about the harp and educational materials, and eventually one day I saw that she was performing with Singapore Chinese Orchestra, which is something that I'm more familiar with lah. And then like, she looks quite familiar. Oh, that's Charmaine. Yeah. So I decided to have her on this show. So was the time you were at the school the time where you started doing all this like independent social marketing?
Only after I left full time. So I left the school full time, then I was doing part time still. But then even part time I couldn't keep up with the commitment. Yeah, so it was only after I left full time then I started marketing myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
So roughly when was
that
this?
That was like
2021.
2021.
Oh, quite recent.
Yeah, quite recent. Yeah.
So how has it been like? Is it effective using social media marketing?
Yes, very effective.
Oh, okay.
I think it's very, very important nowadays to really keep up like social media, like your posts. Yeah, you need to like post regularly. You need to really think of material regularly also. So wherever I go, like whatever events I have, I try my best to take. This is very, very out of my character. I don't like to post anything online. Like I also don't like to reveal too much about myself online. But for work, it's really important to do it. And so at events, I try to like as much as I can, or if I feel like I have enough thick skin that day, I'll ask someone, can you please help me take a photo of myself at the event? Like. So yeah, it's a lot of asking people for help and or taking the initiative to take videos, photos for yourself to post lah. Yeah, that is quite difficult though because yeah, it's a lot of extra work on top of performing. So you're there to perform, right? Then yet you still have to like help yourself.
Like focus. You have to focus on the music, but then sometimes do you forget to take pictures sometimes?
Yes, a lot of times, and then I just have nothing to post. So then I'm just like, oh shucks. Like,
oh no, I played so well in a nice outfit also.
Yeah. So I try to do that, and then if I have enough mental energy, I will do like those reels. Yeah, tell people like, oh, like today went like this is how I prepare for the performance, or like at the gig when I arrive, this is what I do. Yeah, so I think it's quite interesting for people to see because they don't really know like what it's like moving a harp, for example.
Okay.
Like, do you know how much work goes into moving a harp?
I can imagine. You need a lorry each time, right?
No, we use the SUV. It can fit an SUV.
SUV?
Yeah.
Lie
so
down.
Car, yes, so lying down. But my house, we don't have a lift.
Oh.
And I stay on the 3rd floor. So every time we move the harp, we have to carry down many flights of stairs.
You do it yourself?
With my dad.
Okay.
Or now with my husband. So So yeah, it is a lot of work. Bring the harp out of my house. Don't even say reach the venue, then no lift or whatever. Yeah. Usually, in fact, the venue has lift lah. Usually, the difficult part is my house.
Okay.
Yeah. So coming down and then sometimes if it rains, then yeah, GG also, because my house, the car park also, the shelter is a bit.
So you mentioned that you perform a lot. Like you decided to quit teaching at the school to focus more on performing. So what percentage of your time would you say now is dedicated to being a performer, and what of it is dedicated to being an educator? Yeah.
I think for performing is quite different every month. It really depends whether like what kind of gigs come in, and every month is really quite different, the things that come in. Sometimes it's a lot of weddings, like it's just peak period for wedding, maybe very hot now or what that month. And then sometimes it's a lot of orchestra stuff. Yeah, so then that would take a lot of time, because orchestra rehearsal is like many blocks of time. Weddings is just that block of time for the wedding. And then but for teaching it's very fixed. It's really very fixed. And for NAFA, of course, you follow the school semester, so it's like December you don't teach. During the summertime you also don't teach. And for my private students it's also very fixed. So in that sense, teaching is very fixed and it's very stable. Yeah, but is I won't say it takes up a huge percentage of my time also. Yeah, I would say it's still mostly performing.
Okay.
And yeah, leaving my time free on the important days. So like Saturdays I try to teach only in the morning. Then where like in the afternoon where more wedding gigs come in or like performances come in, then I will just keep it free. Yeah, and the very nice thing about having private students is that they can be shifted around. Yeah, so I really, really enjoyed it, and I really thank my students for being understanding, for like, I sometimes every week I tell them different time, to have lesson, and they still try to accommodate. So that's very, very nice. But of course the hours is still quite fixed. Like in a month we do like 4 lessons, that kind of thing. Those are quite regular for students. Yeah, but for performing it's like sometimes it's a lot, sometimes it's very, very little, and it's quite scary. But yeah, during the more emptier months, like I try to rest more, because sometimes when it's busy it's really super busy and you feel very like overwhelmed. Yeah, so during the rest months it's more of like checking on your social media again, like what can you improve on, or like maybe what new pieces can I start learning for like future concerts or whatever. Yeah, so it's a lot of planning.
So since we are living in Singapore, right, the big question is always money and like the number, how much a month, how much a year. Do you mind sharing with our audience like roughly how much you make in a month, and maybe like give us an idea of how much of it comes from the regular teaching, how much of it comes from like on average performing?
I can say what's the percentage lah.
Oh,
I
okay.
can say like, okay, so for like teaching, maybe it forms about 30%. 30%
30%.
every month. Yeah.
Also
so
mostly still come from performing.
mostly, yeah, I think, for me, performing really brings in the income.
Even
Yeah.
though you teach at like NAFA, they don't pay well, is it? Hey, Lu Heng. Lu Heng was here yesterday. Yeah.
Well,
You know Lu Heng also, right?
huh?
You know Lu Heng, right?
Yeah. Well, I would say they pay okay lah.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's very small percentage of my.
So is it like ad hoc? Are you like a guest lecturer?
Yes,
or
correct. So I
guest
teach.
lecturer?
It's considered adjunct lecturer. So
Okay.
what I do is I teach like the private lessons, private harp lessons, and also the
Principal studies.
Yeah, so principal study and also the harp ensemble class.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I teach those two. Yeah, but I won't say it's a lot of money lah. Yeah, but it's stable income. Yeah, so for me, like doing classical, like gigs.
It's not
is-
the main
Yeah, it's also not the main. It's more of like wedding, corporate events, that kind.
wedding.
Those.
Those that you are in charge of the thing yourself, lah.
Yes,
Then you can quote
correct.
accordingly.
Correct. So those earn you a bit more, but I do have to say that it's more fulfilling artistically to do
Definitely.
like the classical stuff. Yeah, and and this, for classical orchestra, let's say, we already are earning money, right? There are some concerts which I do which don't earn you money. Yeah, so like there are some concerts that I do at Baroque House, or like those concerts that you organize yourself and you play really classical repertoire, and the amount of hours that goes into it is like so much that it really doesn't justify why you should do it.
It's a labor of love lah, more.
Yeah, correct. So there are a lot of projects like that to upkeep your artistic side, your fulfillment. Yeah, so those, you really don't earn money from. So I would say like even doing orchestra gigs, and that's already a big blessing for me. Yeah, because it's not, and every orchestra only needs 1 or 2 harpists, right? The fact that I still get called to play, I think is really, I'm super lucky already. Yeah, because it's not that many opportunities, and I still manage to be a part of it. It's really, I'm very fortunate now. Yeah, so although I won't say the money is like a lot and is like, it will make you feel like, okay, like I earn enough this month, it's not really like that. But at least on the artistic side, I feel like I'm very happy doing those things. And and I feel, in the orchestra you also meet friends, you also work with like my previous teacher, for example, like SSO, like she was my teacher in Yongsuto, Kunara, yeah. So working with her also is so fun. Like playing 2 harp stuff is so fun, and you don't really often get that. So a lot of the concert season last year was a lot of one harp. So if it's 1 harp, of course she will be playing, right? Then there's no really need to call me unless she's sick or whatever. So every time there's 2 harp repertoire, I'm like very grateful. I'm very happy. Yeah, happy to do it. Yeah. So SSO, SEO, and then there are also like other orchestras like OMM.
Okay.
Yeah, those also is, I won't say the pay is the same level also. It's a little bit lower, but the fulfillment is really there. Because, we recently did this Wagner Das Rheingold. I don't know if you know.
I heard my friends talk about it.
Yeah, so it's like, actually it's a piece written for 7 harps.
Oh, okay.
When will you get a chance to play 7 harps?
Also, there were 7 harps.
So actually it's 6 harps plus 1 offstage harp. So we ended up having six harps, and then that offstage harp, just the same person doubled, Karen.
Oh, okay.
And she doubled that same part. So things like that make me very happy, I feel, and I feel very proud that I'm a part of it lah. Yeah, so it's like you can see from month to month, the projects that I have is very different. Yeah, it can be like very big repertoire, sometimes it's very small concerts, and then sometimes it's very commercial concerts. Yeah, so it's pretty different every
But it's like a nice balance lah, right? Because the music part might not be paying as much, but the corporate side, at least that one helps to bring the give you the independence.
Yeah, but I like that it's very different. I think that's my favorite part about the job. Yeah, that every week my schedule is different. So like sometimes my friends ask me like, oh, like I met you Thursday last week, so next Thursday you free? I'm like,
no,
sorry, it's not like that. But yeah, but I like that it's very inconsistent. Yeah, then you never know what kind of projects might come your way also. Sometimes your friend just feeling creative, then like, hey, record this thing with me. Okay, let's go. Yeah, let's go and record.
You have to bring your harp downstairs.
Yeah, I ask them to come my house if possible.
Okay.
But if not, then I bring my harp. If it's like, cause I also don't have recording equipment at home. Yeah, so that's difficult. Maybe I share with you how the harp works. So the harp has colored strings.
Yeah.
So all the dough, right, is
green.
No green. There's no green.
Oh, there's no green.
Yeah.
I think of the kucheng.
It's red color.
Oh, okay.
Red color, and then we have black color strings that are F.
Oh, I didn't know there was black.
So there's 2 different colors. So those in between are like white-ish. White transparent.
Silver.
Yeah. So that's how we determine the pitch. So there's do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, right? Then to adjust the sharp and flats, we use our legs. So the pedals, there's do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti. So 7 pedals.
7 pedals.
Each pedal can adjust flat, natural, sharp.
Oh, so like...
Yeah. Yes,
okay.
Correct. So every time during the piece, if there's any accidentals, for example, it's in like C major, then suddenly the piece morph into like C flat major, then dung, 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 I must move all the
everything
pedal.
flat.
Yeah, correct.
Anything else you are currently working on that you want to share with the audience that they can support you? Like maybe they can know where you perform.
Well, I have a few concerts lined up for next year. There's one that we're doing at Baroque House again.
Next year is in 2024.
2024.
Oh, this
yes.
year.
This year.
Don't wait too long.
Yeah, we have a project about mental wellness and with harp and sound engineers that will do like electronic sounds. So that will be quite fun, I think. And then there's some other smaller recitals which are still in the works. So those, please follow my Instagram.
Over here.
And I'll keep you updated. Yeah. But
these are your own shows.
yeah. Yeah, the artsy-fartsy ones. Yeah. That one, actually, the mental wellness one is a NAFA initiative.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's called Collab Lab. So it's meant to help staff, alumni, and current students of NAFA to collaborate and make some art lah. So that's one very, very nice project that I'm very, very much looking forward to. Making music also, sometimes you meet a lot of different people, different collaborators, and then you learn so much from them. That's something that's very, very cool about music. You meet a lot of different people, like SEO. I also am not trained in Chinese music, but yet it's so fortunate that there's a Western hub in SEO. Yeah, and then sometimes the principal harpist there, Fontaine, I don't know, do you know her?
I heard of
Fontaine. Her. Yeah, so when she is sick or what, then sometimes I get called to play, and then every time I go there to play, it's a very different color from the Western orchestra, right? But so nice, Like there was one time I was like sitting near the erhus, and then I was like, wow, erhu sounds so nice. Then I went to learn for a while.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Who do you learn from?
Qing Kai.
Oh okay.
Yeah, but then I couldn't keep up lah. But it was very nice to know like at least how the instrument works, how they produce the sound, and what's the difficulty of making the music come out from this instrument. Who is very difficult. So I thought like, okay, I played violin before, it shouldn't be so bad. Hey, it's freaking confusing because the bow are up down like that, in out.
Yeah.
I'm just like, wow.
Then the bow stuck in the middle, then the two strings over there, then like where to press.
Yeah, correct. So I was like, yeah. But it's very, very inspiring sometimes to play in very different settings. Yeah, different orchestras. And even Western orchestras, to play for different Western orchestras also is very nice. Like SSO sometimes, then MFO also, Metropolitan Festival, or OMM. Those is a very different crowd of people who are playing in those orchestras, and it's very nice to feel the difference. Yeah.
So you're very open to like trying different kinds of music for different settings.
Yeah.
So having been through all of this, right? Is there any experience or is there anything about being the musician that you are that you, I wouldn't say dislike the most, but like, I guess dislike the most cause
what do I dislike about the musician that I am today?
Like being a musician in Singapore, what do you dislike the most?
I think this is something that I'm still getting used to, but the uncertainty every month. Yeah, so it almost feels like you're living month by month, but also not really, because you have projects that needs to be planned much more ahead. But you do feel like, like you cannot relax. Yeah, I feel like you cannot relax. Every month you have to keep going and planning ahead and thinking like, like what's the next step? What's the next step, like that? Yeah, so it's not like a like regular office worker. Like you don't have to worry. Next month I don't know. Maybe now people worry whether they get fired or not. But at least your income comes in very stably. Like every month is what for myself. Every month can be quite different. Yeah. But I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's just something that I still need to get used to, and to maybe look at things in a more like annual, in a bigger,
longer time frame.
Yes, exactly. But other things, I think sometimes it's very easy also to get carried away with like the commercial stuff.
What do you mean by?
So like you do a lot of commercial, then you have no energy left for the artsy fartsy stuff. Yeah, so the artsy fartsy stuff really, really takes up a lot of energy. Like really every time after I do, I just feel like, wow, I feel like I'm like brain dead. But yeah, and then to start a new one sometimes is challenging. Yeah, but yeah, so I think to have more grit, I think is something that I wish I have, and I hope I can quickly start developing more grit. Yeah, to do more of these arts projects lah.
But it's quite rewarding lah. It's like high
It's
risk, high
very,
reward.
very,
kinda.
very rewarding.
Mm.
Yeah, and then you feel much more like, you know, what you studied had mattered. You know, like playing the classical stuff and to make it appealing to an audience, like to have an audience there that wants to listen to these things, like is very very rewarding. So I did this thing called Concrete Relief, where it was 2 harps, me and my friend Charity. We did with videography. So there's like we took some like footage of like trees and whatnot. So it's based on a poem by Mark Nair, this poet. So he wrote this poem about, like, you know, in Singapore it's like very hot, very humid, and then like how do we deal with this, like this heat, this oppression, and blah, blah. And then we take some footage of, like, you know, like people looking very hot, or like like
People looking very hot.
no, not like hot, but like sweaty hot, or like, yeah. And then our music, we also wrote music to it, so it's like a lot of visual, and it's just a visual and oral treat lor. So you just hear and see everything, and that was very very fun to do.
Like trees,
Yeah.
Dyson aircon, fan.
Yeah, so it was 5 different poems. So we did like 5 different pieces. So that was very 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 nice. But it was a very long process, and it was not easy at all lah. Yeah. After that show, I remember I felt like so burnt out. I was like, oh my goodness. Yeah, to do this again, I mean, it's difficult, but it really feels super rewarding that you just try to
Something to
gather
call your
energy.
own.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Then do you have anything you want to say to the audience, like general Singaporean public? Like maybe you want to tell them support the arts, or like appreciate harp music more.
I think a lot of maybe Singaporean people are kind of afraid of classical music, or maybe you feel like you don't know anything, and then why should I go to a classical music concert like Egg Atas or whatever? But actually really it's not, and classical musicians nowadays are really trying to connect you to what we have learned in school, or what our art is about. So, you know, if you do have the chance to, you know, you can even just start out with going for those free concerts, like those Esplanade Concourse, or like, you know, they have those theatre shows that are the waterfront. Those also is more relatable and also free, and, you know, start out with those, and then also be open-minded, maybe like try and see what is it about. Don't be afraid, and yeah, give it a try.
Yeah,
We are also all giving it a try.
Yeah. Don't stay at home Netflix every day. Go out, take a walk, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have mentioned a lot about like the importance of media and networking and building a brand for yourself, right? So that kind of brings us to our sponsor of today's episode. Our sponsor today is actually One Good Card by One Good Team. I'll put a close up here somewhere lah, editor, thanks. So One Good Card is a smart reusable name card that is a sustainable way for you to get your brand across. Because with this name card, with a tap on the phone or just scanning the QR code at the back, you can actually showcase your profile to new people at networking events. And they currently serve about 120,000 users worldwide and about 2,000 companies. So One Good Team also provides HRM and CRM capabilities to companies, such that your team or your company, everyone basically has this standardized way to approach new clients, or basically just get their brand across in a unified and standardized way. So thank you, One Good Card, for sponsoring this episode, and we have this card for you.
Wow.
Yeah, so hopefully
Thank you.
you will use it sometime.
Wow, it looks super posh.
It's especially, for me at least, it's very hot with the tech space people. So they see this, they can get quite excited, like, oh, what's that? Quite cool. Like,
Yeah, it's
can I
very
invest?
nice.
And like, yeah.
And it looks very like classy also.
Yeah, so I hope you like this.
I
It's
do, I
a
like it. Thank
gift.
you.
As per the name Starving Artist, we actually asked Charmaine if she has any like food item to recommend everybody. And she brought this Tokyo Milk Cheese Factory biscuits. I will
Yes.
leave you to share why you recommended this and like why you chose this.
Well, I think this one, the first time I tried this it was given by a harp student, and then I tried it, I was like, wow, mind blowing. And so this year, Oh, this is 2024 right now.
Yeah.
Last year, I got married.
Okay.
And I went to Tokyo for my honeymoon. So I thought this is the perfect thing to bring on the show. Tokyo Milk Cheese Factory biscuits. The original flavor is the best one. So please get the original flavor. Yep.
Thanks for bringing them onto the show.
You're welcome.
And that brings us to the end of our episode. Please, if you like this video, hit the like below and comment down below who you want to see next. Or if you have any questions for Charmaine or like anything you want to share about your own personal lives, or if you're a musician, you want to share more about your experience, do so in the comment section. And last but not least, please support the channel by subscribing so that we can continue bringing to you such content about the art scene in Singapore. So thanks for watching and bye-bye.
Bye.